You might have heard this phrase being thrown around a lot. This guy's got roid rage. Does it exist? Is it actually a thing? Is there any science behind it? Allow me to explain, or at least give my opinion on it, because it's very hard for them to scientifically hack into this brain, and then everybody else's brain is different. So each person is going to react very different to it. It's not like a drug which they can just give to somebody, do a 30-day test on it and say, yeah, the majority of people felt like this. When you are altering your hormones, it's very difficult to get any study in order, to be honest with you, which is why it's not that I don't believe in medical journals, especially when it comes to mind-altering drugs. I just believe that everybody is so individual and at individual stages of their life as well. You take me at 20-year-old, at 14 years old, at 24, at 34, at 44. My mind is completely different. My mindset is completely different throughout the whole my lifespan. And then when you put me against 30 different guys and they're giving us hormonal changes, changing drugs, how do they really measure it? Are they really actually, is there any actual science behind these hormonal drugs? I don't know. What we do know though is this. Like money. Money doesn't change you. You often hear that phrase. This guy's changed, he's got some money. Got a bit of money, he's changed. Money doesn't change you. All money does is it reveals you. And I'm going to say exactly the same for steroids. Steroids do not change who you are. They just reveal your personality 10x. That's the best way I have seen it being used. But I still think it's very dangerous. And now when I say steroids, I'm also going to mention TRT, even though it's a very low controlled, medically controlled dose of steroids. It still can mess with your mind if you take the wrong one. And it can definitely, it's changing your hormone. That's exactly what we're doing. It's changing the hormone. So now we come on to the thing that you guys have turned the video on for, roid rage. Does it exist? I have seen people become very aggressive on steroids. Snappy. Now let me just paint that picture for you. Imagine somebody's doing a bodybuilding competition. They've been dieting for 12 weeks. They're coming to the end of it. The food's low. The energy levels are low. The cardio's high. The steroids are high. All sorts of different compounds, chemicals mixing around, hormonal imbalances, balances, this, that, everything's going up and down. And the missus says something to them. They snap. I've been in that situation. I didn't snap. Do you know why I didn't snap? Not that I'm better than anybody else. It's just that that's my personality. My personality is to not snap at things. I'm not a very snappy guy. I'm very, calculating. I analyze the situation regardless of what's going on in my life, regardless of what's happening. I'll give you an example. Well, actually, it's not an example I can give you, but many people can give you an example that if they saw me when I was behind the counter in the gym, or if I was working the doors, or when I was working anywhere, if you saw me on a daily basis, you did not know what was going on in my life. I was stoic. That's me. I'm on gear. I'm not on gear. Whatever it is. Doesn't matter to me. I am someone who is 100% in control of my emotions. Now, I have, however, felt a little bit, if you want to say depressed, and I'll explain why later when I'm going to get to that part of the video, when you come off. And that is an actual feeling that I did feel slightly, and I was quick to pick up on anything. Haha, I know what this is. This is my testosterone being down. So I need to put the testosterone back. And as soon as I put it back in, I realized. Then I thought, okay, now I know not to come off the testosterone. How can I stay on testosterone safely for the rest of my life? So these are all things that I had to figure out. Now, many of you guys know, we all know somebody who takes a bit of gear, Billy Big Bollocks, walking around, juiced up, sus and deck, a bit of oxys, gone massive, starting fights, doing this, doing that. He wanted to do that anyway. He always wanted to do that. Steroids just gave him the thumbs up. Said, go ahead. See if you can smash someone in. That's all it was. So, roid rage, does it exist? for the right guy, yes, it does. I have definitely 100% seen someone get snappy off it. Now, how do you stop this? How do you stop roid rage if you're prone to it? First of all, and this is the main thing, don't take too much. So many guys inbox me. It annoys me, guys, sometimes when you say this to me. All right, mate, I'm taking TRT. I'm on one shot of sus. You're not doing TRT, bro, if you're taking sus. I'm on TRT, I'm on one shot of tren and 2 debug. You're not, that's not TRT, G. It's not TRT. I've done a video on TRT. TRT protocol. Link is in the description. Go and purchase it. It's £50. 50 quid. What can £50 buy you nowadays? I can't go out and eat 2 days on the trot in a row and spend 50 quid. It costs me more than 50 quid to eat just for 2 days. But forget me. How much is a pair of trainers nowadays? Not 50 quid. How much is a top, a t-shirt, a jacket, a jumper, a hat? Nothing's 50 quid now, but the TRT program is. So go and purchase that. Anyway, like I was saying, when I felt slightly depressed, if you want to call it that, sad, I came off a course of steroids. Like everybody else, I'm doing it for 12 weeks. I'm going to come off and then I'm going to let my body clean out and then I'm going to start again. And while I'm off, I'm going to take Clomid. No, you should not. And I'll tell you why. That is mind altering. When you take stuff like AIs, anti-estrogens, I don't want to swear here, I'm trying to find the right word. My vocab is very crap. Mess with you big time. Mentally, you start feeling depressed, you start feeling down. You're going to be watching the TV and all of a sudden there's going to be a little tear coming out you. And when that happens, you think, right, man up. Stop being a bitch. Get back on some tests. Get back on the TRT. This actually happened to me and I picked up on it so quick. I don't know what it was. There was something, and I'm not an emotional guy at all, ever. It's just the way I've been brought up. Just the way I am. My whole family's not, we're just not a very emotional family. But it is what it is. I like it. It's good. I like it. It's a bit hard-faced. It's good. I noticed that when I came off cycle once. And it wasn't a heavy cycle. I just came off and I did the whole thing. I'm just going to clean out my system. I'll just, no. We know how to do that now. We know how to do that. We can stay on all year round, perfectly healthy to do it if you do it correctly. So those people that come off gear, all of a sudden, boom, cold turkey, you are messing with your mind like you never know. I would love for them to at least do something like we could see what's going on. You know, when they connect all the things to the brain and we see all the brain patterns and waves and stuff going on. I'd love for them to see it in somebody who takes TRT and then the guy comes off. It will absolutely mess with you. Your relationships will be crappy. You won't wake up with morning wood. You will be depressed. You won't be able to sleep right. You won't be able to wake up right. You'll be groggy all the time. Instead of sleeping 4 or 5 hours a day like I do, I'd be sleeping 10, 12 hours. I've been there. You'll be tired. You'll be lethargic. You'll be fatigued all day. That is not a life you want to live. And I'm not saying this. I'm not just saying like get on some TRT. The point I'm trying to say is roid rage is real. And it doesn't necessarily happen when you're on. It can happen when you're off, which brings me to my next point. If you are aggressive, if you are moody, if you are snappy, maybe you haven't got enough test in you. Maybe your testosterone isn't level enough. Maybe your baseline is way too low. Maybe your test levels are too low. That's what's making you snappy. It's not about aggressive. This isn't a thing. Get this out of your head, guys. Get this out of your head. High test, more aggression. That's not true. I know a lot of guys that have the lowest testosterone possible. And then with the clients of mine, they come to me and they say, mate, I'm just aggressive all the time. Maybe my test is, I'm like, bro, calm down, chill. That doesn't how it works. Not how it works. They get their test levels done 0 or 2 or 3 or 5 or 10, whatever the test levels is. It's very, very low. Soon as we get them back to the right dosage that their body was producing when they were young, they feel better. They're mellowed out. They've become the best version of themselves. You know? And that is why testosterone is very important. So we need to know exactly what we're taking, how much we're taking, when we're taking it, and how we're administering it as well. Once we've got all those things checked out, roid rage or non-roid rage, whatever you want to call it, will stop. You will be better. You will live a more fruitful, healthy, functional life. So it's not just the more tests you take, the more aggressive you're going to get. Now, don't get me wrong. I know guys that were competing. And you know, another thing as well, let me just tell you this as well, especially in guys in competing level. When you're taking tren, everyone says, you're going to be more aggressive when you take tren. That already now, placebo effect, psychologically, has put that in your head. I'm going to be more aggressive when I'm taking tren. If no one ever told you that, chances are that might never even altered your mindset. I'm not saying it won't have anyway, but it might not have depending on who you are. Someone like me didn't do nothing to me. As far as my mind is concerned, being on gear, steroids, or TRT has never messed with me. It's always kept me chilled out, cool as a cucumber, very calm. The one time I knew I was emotional was when I was off, because that wasn't me. I knew that's not me. I thought, this isn't me. I know this isn't me. And it's not that being emotional is a bad thing. I'm not saying that. But you just know who you are. So likewise, if you're off gear, or if you're off TRT, or if you are someone who's never taken TRT and all of a sudden you're getting on a little bit and certain things are just annoying you. The missus is doing this, the kids are doing this, the bills are piling up, this is going on, that's going on. There's certain things just really getting to you, and all of a sudden you feel a bit of anger, a bit of rage inside you. Check your test levels, and I can almost guarantee you that is what's causing all that anger and all that rage inside you. Hopefully this video gave you guys some value. Get yourself on TRT, comment down below and like the video.